Hello everybody, this is Jim Slim, and I am very excited to be reviewing LEGO Star Wars set number 75326, Boba Fett's Throne Room, featuring 732 pieces. This set is supposed to retail for $100 upon launch date coming up in March, although Costco currently has it for $80, so if you have a Costco membership, go ahead and check your local Costco. Again, this set features 732 pieces as well as 7 minifigures. So if you're wondering why is the price per piece so low compared to the price point, it's because they got a whopping 7 minifigures. They have Boba Fett, the new updated Book of Boba Fett version. Fennec Shan, no longer with her helmet but with her hair instead. A brand new Bob Fortuna, who's supposed to be his larger self. Seen in the end of The Mandalorian. The Thelan Dancer, I'm going to have to double check on her name. The Quarren, one Gamorrean guard, because if they had put 2, they probably wouldn't have included one of the other minifigures, as well as a Weequay guard. Taking a look at the front of the box, we have that awesome new 2022 LEGO Star Wars design with the black greebling in this corner, separated by the green tiles denoting that this is a set from Book of Boba Fett. Also down in the corner we have an awesome rendering of Boba Fett and Fennec Shan with her hairpiece holding her helmet, as well as more of that green tiling and some green greebling, although it's very hard to see behind them. You know, over here behind our characters we have the green textured surface, denoting that these minifigures are a part of a Book of Boba Fett set. Although interestingly enough, the cast of figures seems to be from that end scene, post-credit scene from Mandalorian Season 2, although that was technically the introduction to Book of Boba Fett, so I guess that's why they decided to do that. On the top here, we have an actual size Bob Fortuna minifigure. On the left hand side we have our side box art, a cutout of the middle section of the throne room. Right side is Lego Life, legal stuff. And then the back we have full artwork, none of the greebling. We have that full background Tatooine artwork, which looks great and has the dual suns. This could have been a good artwork for the Mos Eisley Cantina, although they wanted to do the Black Void since it's an 18 and up set. But anyway, you also see more of the features of the set. You know, although, you know, in this artwork, if Boba Fett is on that throne, Bob Fortuna should not be standing. I'm just going to say that much. If you've seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. Interestingly enough, for a $100 set, this set actually has thumb tabs on the box, so either you can slice underneath and it's kind of a pain, but since this box is not in mint condition, you know, I'm just going to go ahead, punch my thumb tabs out. You know, it closes up pretty well anyway, and although sometimes if your thumb tabs are not perforated properly, they can be actually a bit difficult to open. But after that, you can go ahead, pop it open, pour out all them goodies that are inside, and find it. Okay, that was about to slide off. I'm gonna go ahead and toss that box on the floor. Yep, there we go. Got about 5 large. How many we got? We got 6. We got 6, guys. We got 6 bags of parts. And on top of that, we got our lovely large instruction manual. And taking a look in the front, we got that Lego Life stuff. You know, in here we got the whole progress bar deal going on. You know, got a summary of what each bag produces. Flipping to the back, we have our parts list. And I'm trying to get to. Wow, that's all we got. So interestingly enough, there's no promotional material in the back of this instruction guide, but we do have a small sticker sheet. Actually, not too many stickers, so that's a good thing. All right, and there we have it. Boba Fett's throne room completed. And I must say, like, I think this actually looks even better in person than I thought it was going to look just from the box art or what I saw online. But before I get into the build, of course, let's take a look at them there minifigures. First up, we have Boba Fett with his repainted armor. Nothing really different from what we got last year, 2021, with his Boba Fett starship, his fire sprayer. The one thing that, well, obviously I don't have all the details memorized, so, it was like that Tamur Morrison head. I wasn't sure if they had updated some of the details, but it doesn't appear to be so. It looks to be about the same, actually, so... Nothing new there. Still the same scarring and wrinkles, after he almost got digested by the Sarlacc, and also after he passed out in the sun and the Ewoks stole his armor. Next up, we have Fennec, who still has the same detailed body, arm, and leg printing, as well as back printing. This time the only difference is she came with this hair instead of with her helmet. So we're going to take a look underneath that hair, which is it's all right. It's not quite accurate to the actress's actual hair, or the character's actual hair. They kept the faces pretty much the same from the looks of it. They got her smirking face and her more like really bruh face. Next up, we have one of our unique exclusive figures to the set, our Weequay, and he has facial printing, of course. They would never make him without that. He's got chest printing, no leg printing, no arm printing, but on the back he does have this printing on the back of his head, which has his hair tails continuing down to his back, which is actually really nice. He comes with this dark gunmetal gray blaster, which is pretty cool. Next up, we have our also exclusive, brand new, updated Gamorrean guard, who's looking really good. I do believe they have the same actual mold for the head, shoulder, and torso piece as previously, but he looks, I mean, really, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So this piece, just, you can completely remove it. Of course, there's going to be no chest, no arm printing. It has bare arms, and no back printing either. That would just be very redundant. But putting his torso back on, let's go take a look at his weapon. He has that axe piece, which I love these axe blades because he could actually make it a double axe very easily, and it looks really good. He also has this, instead of having green legs, he has brown legs with some green printing and toe printing on them, which look absolutely amazing. Next up, we have our Corn minifigure, and I actually just rewatched the scene. I could not even see one of these guys in the scene. I might have to rewatch it again because there were a lot of characters in the shadows, but he's a very fine-looking minifigure now. He has this rubbery head, which looks amazing, absolutely very detailed, looking like Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean. But if you remove his head, which is a bit more difficult since it's one of those rubbery heads, takes a little more effort. But he has this amazing chest print, most of which is covered by his tentacles. But it is continuous down to the waist and legs, looking really good. No arm printing, but he does have a back print that you actually can see when his head is on. Next up, we have another exclusive minifigure, our Thelan Dancer Rystal Sant, and they did a pretty good job on her, although I think her skin tone should be a bit more light and rosy. Honestly, it looks like our regular Lego flesh tone, but removing this interesting hairpiece, they might have recycled this from another minifigure, don't quote me on that, but taking a look, we have this face print, and then this one where it looks like, that's actually a surprising one. Like, she looks kind of angry in here, which is interesting because in the scene I think she gets scared and runs off. But in this minifigure, it looks like she wants to fire back or something. She's actually ready for battle. But you can see they tried to give her that feminine waistline as well. Then the back printing and the front printing. So looking very nice. They have a continuous chest to waist to leg, and then also the footprinting for those interesting toe pieces she has. Next up, we have our exclusive, brand new, updated, chunky Bib Fortuna with really what's the one chunky thing is they made his head tails a lot more chunky. Like you can tell he's gained weight around the head area. But removing that piece, looking underneath, he has this poop eating grin for the PG version for YouTube's. And then on the back he's like, "Oh no, Boa about to shoot me." But he does have a in addition to that, he has a nice back printing, and then a very detailed chest to waist to leg printing, looking very nice. They tried to recreate the staff and that he was holding in Lego, and actually, like it's interesting they tell you put it in his right hand because I do believe in the scene and just overall it's better in his left hand because his head tail over here does keep him from raising it very much at all. Now, taking a look at the build, compared to the 2012 Jabba's Palace, this is definitely scaled down a bit. Whether you're looking at it from the front or the back, the fact is they made the throne room a lot shorter. Like, you probably couldn't even fit that Jabba big fig in here, or at least too comfortably. You'd probably have to remove the throne itself, but he was not included in the set, so that's probably their justification. Also, instead of having more detail or more blocks here and here, they added a bit more details in the back with that spit, and then also they added this whole section over here, which I do believe is a very fine addition to the set. Like we do see a lot of these little alcoves in Boba Fett / Jabba's throne room in the palace. So it's nice to have that little kind of cantina booth area finally in a set. But taking a look at this cantina area, let's start on the roof. We have this barrel which has some thermal detonators in it. They give you 2 to put in there, and it always comes with an extra because that's one of those pieces they always include an extra. So I threw all 3 in mine because why not? I don't need to throw it in my little extra parts container if I don't have to. And then down here we have a silver goblet in the back. We've got 2 seats, this nice little round table, a jar of obviously some sort of drink, and then there's probably another little looks like a shot or something in the back, unless it's like a bounty puck or something, but probably not. This is not the cantina where bounty hunters come. Moving along to the center of the build, I suppose we should start with the point of contention for many Lego Star Wars fans, which is the roof. They removed that classic roof that was on the 2012 Jabba's Palace, probably due to the controversy surrounding it. They didn't want to have that problem again, even so, like, a decade later. They're probably worried, especially now with everything going on, that they really don't want to offend anyone. So what they did, actually, the solution is that looking at the scene is a very good idea, because why did they put these 2 grills here? Well, if you look at the scene where Boba Fett takes over Jabba's palace, you'll see him sitting on the throne, and there's actually some lighting coming in from the top like this through some similar grills. I'll throw up a picture of that, of course. But I think they did a really good job of actually recreating that. It also, it just helps light up this dark little area in here, especially since they shrunk the height down so much. So that's actually a very good compromise. I'm actually gonna take a look around the front after we take a look around this side. So moving on down, we have this nice detailing. I tried to get the stickers as close as possible, and I had some application errors. I was not working in the best lighting. But we do have this much shrunken down throne area. The throne sits a little lower. This recreates the steps, which actually should probably be slanted more down this way, but then the rails here would not be able to slide out. It would be a bit more accurate, but it would not be as, it would ruin the feature of this being able to slide forward. Now, taking a look at the throne itself, we have, you know, pretty much exactly what we were shown in the promotional leak that they did of the throne room, where we had Boba Fett sitting on this throne. You know, they did add in, you know, everything around it, this detail where you can actually sit one of your minifigures on it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So you can, for instance, have Bob Fortuna on here. You can have Boba Fett make his way into the throne room, and you can recreate the scene where Bob Fortuna is basically kissing Boba's butt, and Boba just shoots him, and, well, you know, that was a very unimpressive show of that feature, but you can actually launch a figure off of this thing, so it's not the greatest because of this tile in front, which I'm not sure why they put it there, but you can just shoot him, knock him off, and then go ahead and take over the palace, which is easier with two hands, so I'm just not going to do that right now. Now going into the details, it looks like they have a goblet over here. You know, they did have one of those seat pieces, but it has this these pieces on top of it. I guess they didn't want this to go too far forward, because maybe if you're looking at it from this angle, you don't want to break the immersion too much. But over here we have another seat. We have what I can assume represents food, and this might represent the drink container that Fennec actually grabs right after they take over the palace. But looking at the throne itself, it's got just the right amount of details. You know, these stickers are perfect. You know, the only thing is that with minifigures, their legs don't bend. So, you know, as you saw, when they sit on top of it, they're just on top of it. Their feet are not down in front as they would be in real life. But that's just limitations of Lego. But moving on forward, we have this grill, which is nice for posing minifigures on. Like, it gives you that added floor space. But you can actually use that to pull out the throne, which looks a little less impressive from the back. Underneath, it's, you know, bare bones, but structurally sound. Very nice. If you want to have this as a separate display, you can. You can just remove it from the whole set. Underneath, we have a silver blaster, blaster that's like the base to Boba Fett's blaster, as well as a couple of Beskar ingots, I'm presuming. They must have taken a few creative liberties there, because I don't think we've ever actually seen under the throne like that in source material. But moving back to here, actually, I do believe the throne should be a bit further back from the grill. So if you want to have the trapdoor that leads into the Rancor pit, but that was not included on the set, and it does not seem like they want to have that as an added option or feature unless you're going to make your own creation. But moving on into this little throne area here, we have a crate of bones. Again, they had two. I put in the extra one as well. Why not? Along with a seat, so if you're really that lazy, I guess you're sitting here, you can get up, grab a leg off the spit and go ahead and eat it. And the spit is I really like this. It's really cool. Like, you know, it just spins, it does what it's supposed to do. It looks good. You know, you have the fire down underneath, and, you know, I think it's just a really fine looking thing. We have a little control panel on the back wall. We have a couple of lights as well. Not sure what those lights are supposed to represent, but we have something sticking out of the wall, which is like one of those little superhero stands, as well as we have a little table with probably a bottle of grog on it. We have a crate back here, which with what appears to be a kyber crystal. Not too sure. But actually, let me turn on the light and you can get a better look. It's just a trans blue crystal. It's hard to get a look at because it is so tight in here, and I don't really feel like taking it out right now. But one detail here that you might notice, if you look at the box, that thing is supposed to be just straight like that, but they only include one of this rubberized piece, and mine seems to be a bit misshapen. I'm sure I could order a new one, but it doesn't bother me that much. But and I'm sure there's actually a way I could like just maybe bend it back into place. Haven't really tried that, but that's just probably the only complaint I have about this set, other than the fact that, so many things are scaled down. But I do believe for $100 set versus what was $130 set back in the day, this is what we're gonna get. And what we do get for $100 is not terrible at all. But moving along to the guard tower, it's definitely shorter than the one that was on Jabba's palace, but I'm not mad about that actually. So looking in here, we have this dome on the top, this central support beam, and you have we'll take a look at the other side in a moment, but you do have the columns, where the light can shine through. Down here you have the smallest amount of space possible to place a minifigure. Because of the way the door works, you can see it over there. You have a pair of binoculars, which is really kind of inaccessible. Since there's not really a platform over here. I mean, the way this set works, they could have added, a bit of a platform, but they decided not to for whatever reason. Moving down here, we have a control panel for the door. We have a random mug over in the corner, probably because everyone's constantly drinking in this palace. But looking at the steps, we do have this feature which is shown on the box, which you will probably know about already. You can place a minifigure on here and they can just fall down, or you can fling them forward a little bit, and that's a pretty cool play feature. It's something. But more importantly, we have the door with the iDroid. So now we're going to start working our way around to the front. Here we have even on the side, we have these little windows. It's really nice. Here we have, actually, it seems to be about the same gate design as Jabba's palace. We have a slightly smaller design for the turret, which I think makes sense to be pointed slightly downwards, or you could have your figures standing right underneath. And this obviously didn't happen in the show, and it seemed like no one was really paying attention, but you can have the turret pointed at whoever's approach, and the iDroid saying, "What is your business?" or however it talks. But the cool thing is that in addition to that, the way that the gate works is you have to push the iDroid back in, lift up the gate, and lift it all the way up like this, and then you can push the iDroid out, and the gate will just simply sit open if you want to keep the gate open, as you might if you're having Boba Fett and Fennec do their little invasion. And I just think that's a really good function, really good design. So I like to have mine closed because when you're looking at it from the other side, I think it looks better closed. Just my preference. But looking over here, you can see a bit more of the detail of the exterior. I like the design. It's for being simplified, I think it turned out really well. You see, you have this little doorway which should not lead into the side of this, but it's just a little added detail. On the outside here, you see that you have these columns supporting the roof, but then you can see that other portion of the roof just kind of blocks any light coming from in there unless it shines at exactly the right angle. You can see the exterior of the palace it has a bit of displayability. It's not going to compare to the 2012 Jabba's palace, and especially without that roof, it's going to look like kind of plain. But this is the back of the set, so personally, I prefer to look at the front anyway. The one other detail they have out here is a random red snake, just something you're probably gonna see in the desert, although I don't know if we've ever actually seen any snakes on Tatooine. But moving around here, you have a nice little windowed exterior to the cantina area, and that's what the outside looks like. So, final thoughts on this set. I really like it. This was one of the sets that I was really looking forward to this year. I was actually going to put it off because, I came out $100. Not a bad piece and minifigure count. Considering what you get, I do believe this is a fine $100 set, especially given all that interior space. You can just display all your minifigures doing something realistic. No one feels like they're just squished in anywhere, This is my favorite way to display it, just given that iconic end scene they gave to tease Book of Boba Fett. You know, with Bib Fortuna just dead in front of him. Like, unfortunately, the way the head tails work, like I just have to have him hanging off the edge here to get him to lay as flat as possible. But overall, like, yes, we would have liked to have the old roof. That would have been nice. It would have looked better from the other side. It doesn't look terrible from this side. You know, it's acceptable, I guess. It's nice to have all the added details we have, and you know, it's just. I mean, it would have been nice. The only other thing it would have been nice was if we'd either gotten a better hairpiece for Fennec Shand, or at least also gotten her helmet to put off to the side. You know, it would have been nice if instead of this sand green, they'd actually used the darker green for Boba Fett, but I don't know. They're using the dark green for the ink details, which so I'm not sure how that would have worked out. But I do believe it's a fine looking minifigure. I'm so glad that Boba Fett's more common now. Like, it used to be so hard to get a good Boba Fett minifigure. Now we have a fully, very detailed Boba Fett minifigure, which is currently available in 2 sets. And like I said, I was actually going to wait on this set. You know, I was thinking, oh, that would be a great one to have my wife get me for my birthday or Christmas or whatever. But Costco happened to have this for $80. So if you are a Costco member, if you have your membership, I do believe it's about, don't quote me on this, but it's about $50 a year. And really, if you're going to be shopping there for like groceries and, you know, brand new, not even on store shelves yet, Lego sets like this, it ends up paying for itself. You end up saving more than $50 in a year. So I do believe it's worth it to get. But if you are not a Costco member, but you do still want to pay the full retail price, what you can do, which would also be doing a favor to me, is you can slide down to the description and purchase it through one of my affiliate links. You pay nothing extra, and you help support me. You help support the channel. You help ensure that I can create more great content for you guys. But going back to my final thoughts on the set, I love every detail of it. And the one gripe I have, which it's not really a gripe, it could be it would have been nice watching the scene again if we had gotten a Twi'lek minifigure with this set, but instead they included our first Corrin, which I'm not mad about. You know, like you could even use him to recreate the scene where Mando meets Bo-Katan. You know, we don't have a set of that yet. That's something else they could make a set of. You know, they also included Rystal Sant. They included this updated Bib Fortuna. They were a must. Also, they included this Weequay guard who is in no way terrible at all. You know, it's very desirable because they do have a bunch of these in the palace prior to Boba Fett's takeover. They do have this one Gamorrean guard, which there was only one in the scene where Boba Fett took over the palace, so you know it'd be nice to have two, but I understand why they included only one, and rather than have a duplicate of him, they just included 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, am I counting right? They had 5 exclusive minifigures. You know, like I'm not sure if Fennec Shand really counts because they recycled that hairpiece from another set. And the thing is, right after I bought this set, I just had this sitting over on my entertainment center, and I just cannot get over how good the box looks. It's a thumb tab box. It's not in good condition, especially after I punched out the thumb tabs. But I do want to keep it. You know, it's nice to look at, and the set itself, like, I love it. It's a very fine looking set. I'm very happy with the way it turned out, the way it looks. And the fact that there's so many different display options. You can click those into place. You can have them separated. Something else I didn't go to in my review is that, I'm going to just take you guys back around the back. Kind of forgot about this. You can actually swing this open, have a nice little play area. You know, you've got the spit back here behind the throne. You've also got this fairly detailed kitchen area, which is, it looks great. You know, they fit in a lot of detail, a lot of additional structural support there. But with all that being said, let me know what y'all think of this. You know, slide on down to my comments on the way down there. Smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button if you are thinking of getting the set. Again, help a brother out, tap that affiliate link. But once you've made your way down to the comments section, let me know, do you like the set? Is there anything you would like to see them do better? Do you think, would you like to see something added onto this set? Would you like to see the actual room itself expanded upon? Maybe have that table, that central table that they're always dining at. Maybe have an actual trap door, have a Rancor pit. What do you guys think? But with all that being said, this is Jim to the Slim, signing out.